Around the start of 2007, I came up with the name Jake Towers. And I imagined Jake Towers as being a 12-year-old boy. And I did this to sort of do a bit of a revenge prank on a friend who had pranked me. But the name Jake Towers, it resonated with me, it kind of grew on me. And I ended up Googling the name to see what came up. And what came up was The Dark Tower by Stephen King, which has a character named, an 11-year-old boy named Jake Chambers. And I already had a feeling there was a boy out there named Jake who I believed had been murdered, was a murder victim, and I assumed would be a missing person. And I searched and searched all over the internet, missing persons lists everywhere, looking for this Jake, with no success for quite a long time, for a number of years actually. Until one day I searched further afield. I live in Australia, in New South Wales. I ended up finding out in around the start of February 2010, I came across the story of Jacob Wetterling from Minnesota, who was at that stage missing, and he had been the victim of an abduction, but his fate was unknown, and the identity of his abductor at that stage was unknown, and it was known though that he'd been taken by a masked man with a gun, so it didn't look good, and a lot of time had passed, obviously since 1989, which was when Jake was taken. I'd say in this photo he's probably about 9 or 10. So it was, 2010, start of February, when I learned about Jake, and I knew he was the kid. He was the kid I'd been looking for. I knew as soon as I looked at his photo, it wasn't this photo, but I knew as soon as I saw his photo that it was him. And there's another photo of Jake, probably taken, I would suggest, when he was 11. And Jake's last birthday was his 11th birthday. So Sunday, 22nd of October 1989 is when Jake was taken. And for a long time, what happened to him has been a mystery. But his case was solved last year. And basically, it was DNA that helped the police connect a man to another boy named Jared, who was also abducted but not murdered. And that eventually led them to realize that it was the same guy who'd taken Jake, because the two crimes were in very close proximity and at around the same time. So Jake's case was solved on Wednesday, 31st of August 2016. That's when his killer led the FBI and the police to Jake's remains. And since then, I haven't stopped thinking about Jake. I haven't stopped thinking about the connections that led me to find Jake. And part of the reason for that is because I've had other things happen which are pretty strange. One of the strangest involved this novel by R.L. Stine, who's obviously a very famous children's writer, or writer for children. However, this novel by R.L. Stine, he wrote for adults. It's a horror novel for adults, where the two protagonists are twins, 12-year-old twin boys, who are described as blonde and angelic. But it turns out they're not quite so angelic in terms of character. But what made it really interesting for me was the way I found this book. For starters, it was Halloween. It was Halloween in 2015. So it was Saturday, the 31st of October 2015, and I was sitting in the Queanbeyan Library. And the strange thing is that just a couple of hours before I found this book, I had actually written down Red Rain. And it is a song by Peter Gabriel, Red Rain. That's where I first heard that term. And I actually added that term, Red Rain, to my list of things that I like to... Well, I've got a database of things and what they add up to. So I noticed that Red Rain has the same value. As Boy Jake, which also has the same value as Chambers. So Red Rain equals 69. And if you take Jake was born on Friday, 17th of February, and this year he would have turned 39, which is the value of Angel. And if you add 69 days, you actually land on my birthday, which was Thursday, 27th of April, 2017. And Jake has a value of 27. Red has a value of 27. Code is 27. And like I said, the twins, there's two twins in that story. And one of them is named Samuel. So the date, Friday, 17th of February, it's the date when Jake was born, back in 1978. He turned 11 on Friday, 17th of February, 1989. And if you add, and he would have turned 39 on Friday, 17th of February, 2017. The name Samuel, which is one of the twins in Red Rain, or Sammy, either way, those names have the same value if you simply add them up add up the letters according to their place in the alphabet. They both have a value of 71, which is a reflection of Date's birthday. And if you add 71 days to Jake's birthday, Friday, 17th of February, 2017, add 71 days, and you land on Saturday, 29th of April, 2017. Black has a value of 29. Saturday, 29th of April, 2017. Interesting thing about Sammy, or Samuel, is that he had the gift of being able to project fire with his eyes. And that brings me to somebody else who I've connected Jacob Wetterling to. So, interesting that the twins were named Daniel and Samuel. Jake's killer was named Daniel, and Daniel is the evil twin in Red Rain. Yeah, he's a bit like a Hitler Youth in terms of his demeanour. But the boy that I've connected Jacob Wetterling to is an Australian boy named Nathan Breeze. And Nathan died aged 13 on Black Saturday 2009. So it was the 7th of February when Australia got hit by its worst ever bushfire disaster. And Nathan was one of 9 people who died at 9 Pine Ridge Road in Kinglake West. He was 13, and my birthday this year was 13 days after Good Friday. I started thinking, I reckon there's going to be something on my birthday. Something's going to happen on my birthday and it's going to sort of be a sign of something else. Good Friday was on 14th of April 2017, and good has a value of 41, dead has a value of 14. So reflective numbers there. Dead 14, good 41. But another word that has a value of 41 is brat. And of course, the boys in Red Rain are actually more brats. They are certainly not terribly angelic in terms of character. So, Nathan, 13 years old, he died on Black Saturday. As I was just saying, Saturday the 29th of April is exactly 71 days after the 17th of February. So we've got another reflection there. Samuel, Sammy, and a date that is kind of symbolic of Black Saturday, which is when Nathan lost his life back in 2009. Nathan was with his sister, Crystal. Their younger sister, who was only 5, also died in that disaster. And there's another photo of them together. And I've connected Jake to Nathan since a couple of years ago now. But it was from the first photo that I thought there may be a connection. Well, I just kind of knew there was a connection, actually, between Jake and Nathan. I could just see it. And I definitely believe now that Nathan and Jacob are soulmates. They're connected through love. They are boyfriends. Basically, they are obviously bisexual or gay. And I don't doubt the connection at all. So, like I was saying, Jake's birthday, this is an actual photo of Jake's last birthday, his 11th birthday. Friday, 17th of February, 1989. So this is several months before he was kidnapped and murdered. So I got thinking, I think something's going to happen on my birthday. Since my birthday is 69 days after Jake's, we had a bushfire started near our place on Jake's birthday. And exactly 69 days after Jake's birthday is my birthday, 27th of April, the value of Jake, the value of red, the value of code, and Red Rain being 69, boy Jake Chambers, amazingly, we had a tropical cyclone form north of Australia on my birthday. Smack bang on 27th of April, Tropical Cyclone Francis was named, and Francis is the name that I would have got had I been a girl. As it was, I was a boy, so I got Phil instead, a different F name. But yeah, for Francis to form bang on the 27th, I thought, okay, there's something in this. And so we've got the twins, we've got a lot of stuff coming together, but I thought Black Saturday, the 29th, being black having a value of 29, I thought there's got to be something in this. This is a lot of coincidental stuff coming together here, and I don't doubt the connection between Jacob and Nathan at all. So I'm not actually personally that surprised to see things coming kind of true in a way. For if I can just clear this. No, stop slideshow. Okay, I just want to bring up the latest weather, and that is for this article is from Saturday, 29th of April 2017, and flash flood emergencies issued in Missouri. Life-threatening flash flood danger will persist through the weekend in the Ozarks, Mississippi Valley. And there is a really rapidly worsening situation in a part of America that just happens to include the city of St. Louis, Missouri, which is a city that features in The Dark Tower by Stephen King. And the flood warnings in that area are just ballooning and growing by the hour, and it's perfectly coinciding with the date that I worked out, which is the 30th of April 2017 in America. So yeah, that is 16 days after Good Friday, which I think was the age of Jesus, or Josh, when he died back in his time. But yeah, there certainly were some signs on my birthday in the weather, and St. Louis and Joplin to be right in this event, I find it truly amazing in a way. So certainly a growing threat. And this is the forecast rainfall. Again, you can see St. Louis is right in it. And that is a city that features in The Dark Tower by Stephen King. And yeah, I'd say there's quite a big event going to unfold in the United States. And I don't doubt the connections to the boys I just mentioned, and I don't doubt the connection between them at all. But there was a sign on my birthday, not just this one, not just the cyclone, but also there were signs in the weather in the United States with tornadoes on the 27th of April, which actually were not predicted by the weather service, so they're not expected. So the cyclone also was not considered a very realistic chance of forming. So yeah, I really do think definitely the 30th of April is 72 days after Jake's birthday, which is actually the value of Hitler. And it's also the anniversary of Adolf Hitler's death. So there you go.